What's up, fans? Wrestling fans, not fans of us, maybe, but you might be if you like Rumor and Innuendo. I'm Dominic D'Angelo of AdFreeShows.com.
Where are you starting off negative, dude?
I'm building to.
It is all about the power of positivity.
That's it.
Yes.
I will knock you down and then build us back up, And who better to do that than Robert Karpelis, WE Creative_ish.
Robert, Lord, if I'm our beacon of positivity, we are screwed. And guys, if you want to be screwed, no, too early. We'll say hi to some of the folks who are joining us live here today, noon Eastern. I got Johnny Disco says, good morning. Hopefully I'll get to watch live today. Lousy job making me do things like I'm a paid employee or something. He's like Carlito, who never wants to actually have to wrestle or take a bump. Joseph Wade Walters, morning rumor heads. I guess that's what we're going for. Trey Owens, good afternoon-ish. I'm here for the Blue Chew ads. Had he written I came for the Blue Chew ads, that would have been better. And lastly, Mike Malaro says, happy Monday, everyone. Let's all give a big ooh-ah to Dom and Robert. I'm not doing the Roman Reigns thing. I'm also, because I'm annoyed, because I forgot to tell you before you put the heading on, I hate this OTC thing.
Do you?
It's confusing. It's weird. It sounds like over-the-counter. It's not an acronym we're familiar with. No, it's like Tribal Chief Classic. I don't care for it. I don't like that it's here. I don't like that it's the name of this episode, but I do like this episode because, dude, we got a ton of stuff to talk about.
We do. SmackDown was very pretty darn newsworthy, and maybe Raw will be tonight, but we will preview it either way. And let's start off with SmackDown. Robert, on Friday, you said how beneficial it would be to even lead the show with Roman Reigns coming out. They did not do that. They did the exact opposite. Ended up being Cody Rhodes coming out first. And having an opponent already in mind for who he wanted for Bash at Berlin. Before he could get the word out, though, Solo Sikoa comes out and says, I demand another rematch, another shot at this. Cody was not going to give it to him. The Bloodline had other plans. Who came for the save but Kevin Owens? And lo and behold, that's who Cody Rhodes wanted to pick for his opponent at Bash at Berlin. But Kevin Owens was like, nah, I kind of don't deserve it. I appreciate the offer, but I don't deserve it. And then he got a groundswell of cheers to get that opportunity. Later on, we find out that he does. What do you think of this opening segment, Robert? Did it engage you into the program?
No, it did not. I didn't love anything about this. I didn't like Solo Sikoa opening the show, coming after Cody and saying, I demand a title shot, because it should have been, he's so singularly focused and angry about what happened with Roman Reigns that he needs to reestablish his dominance as the leader of this fake bloodline. Instead, he's dude going out there asking for a title opportunity. He should have had his gang, his goons, his thugs, his posse attack Cody. Reestablish your dominance right out the gate, if that's how you're going to open this. Instead, it's, well, I want a title shot. No. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go head to the back right now. And then Kevin Owens, they're like, dude, you're getting a title shot. And he's like, nah, I'm fine. Who is he, Bryan Danielson?
Yeah, Robert, it was really weird. Just kind of, yeah, when I was thinking about that, I was like, why isn't Solo really pissed at Roman right now? Like, why isn't that his focus?
He is, and he was, but this idea of, I want this title opportunity, and then I'm going to get foiled because Kevin Owens shows up with a chair and we bail. Like, he should have been more of a strategist. You needed to remind the audience that he is still somebody who should be feared. His group is something that should be feared, so that later on in the night, when they do reappear, it's much more of a uh-oh kind of moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was weird that Kevin Owens like, I don't really deserve it, kind of thing like that. It just did not fit his bill as who we know as Kevin Owens, as an on-air persona. And on top of it, too, it was just like, why wouldn't you take the title shot? Yeah.
You know what it is? Because he knew he didn't win an eliminator match.
Is that what it is?
He also said, look at my win-loss record. So I think Kevin may have been hit pretty hard at SummerSlam and thinks he's in AEW.
That could maybe be.
Because he's talking about win-loss records. He's talking about earning a shot and potentially an eliminator match. It's a little confusing. Joseph Wade Walters says slow burn to the heel turn. I don't see that necessarily being the case. I think it kind of feels like we're slow burning to the Randy Orton heel turn, where both Orton and Owens are getting title shots. Both of them come up empty-handed. Kevin loses in a fair match. Hey man, thanks, appreciated, shake your hand. Orton fails to beat Gunther for whatever reason, and he shows up on SmackDown, and it's kind of like, hey, wait, why was I not the first one in line to get a shot at you, Cody? Like, you got my number. You called me when I got put through a table for you. You called me to show up at SummerSlam to have your back. What the hell, bro? And that's not an invitation for Matt Riddle to come back, though that would be kind of fun.
What about Vince Russo?
What kind of monster are you?
I don't know. I'm throwing stuff. Robert, I think you are planning Easter eggs. You are a writer. So, I mean, you do this for a living, I think.
I do have a pencil in my hand for some reason. Whenever I'm at this desk, there's always a pencil here. I don't use it, but it's just kind of fun to have in my hand where I'm making points, or if I'm doing like old school like sports betting.
You're like Digger Phelps on ESPN, who had the highlighter that matched his tie.
Yeah, I prefer more the Letterman, where he would
oh yeah, I get that.
Throw the pencil. But hey, what are we gonna do, Letterman? Hey, where are we going now?
Well, let's see if this makes the top 10 list. We had a tag team match to help determine who one of the number one contenders for the tag titles would be. It was the Street Profits versus A-Town Down Under. Cut an opening promo, kind of established like it's been 3 years, which is crazy to think about. 3 years for them.
Yeah.
Since they won titles. And then BFAB stated some stuff. Montez Ford stated some stuff.
Really selling this segment. Well, BFAB said some stuff. Montez, like a kid who didn't do his book report. So then like some stuff happened, and then Macbeth is just like, the hell?
Yeah, so we get this match and Street Profits win. Yeah, I don't know. Any thoughts on this match there, Robert?
None whatsoever. It was a fine match. It was short. It does feel like the Street Profits need a little bit of direction. It really hurts that Lashley's not here. Imagine having Lashley for that opening segment to be the guy to call out Cody.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're like, oh. And if Lashley's going for the title and the Street Profits are going for the tag title, suddenly their little group, their little not official Hurt Business group seems important. So it's a little strange. It's a little wild. It's a little strange. You make your home out on the range.
It is. Hey, Robert, people are strange. And at backstage, we hear another strange segment. KO again denies the title shot.
I've already moved past this, Dom. We've already. Yeah. He gets his title shot. It's fine. We're trying to make sense of what it is that they're doing, other than the fact that it's just there weren't really a lot of really exciting options.
No, there wasn't.
I think we expected, not necessarily here, but in some degree, the return of AJ Styles, which did not happen.
That didn't happen. Yeah, they're also advertised for a Nia Jax celebration. That didn't happen either. They postponed that for a week.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
We can, you know what? Keep postponing that, like the debut of Emelina. Like, so that by the time it's like January, we're going to get the Nia Jax coronation ceremony. Trying to look at what else happened on SmackDown.
I enjoyed the match, Jade Cargill and Alba Fire. I just thought it helped further Jade's star power and everything like that, and did a good job. It wasn't like nothing earth shattering by any means, but I liked it. Good booking, I thought, on that round.
Jade and Alba was fine. I think again the story was we're introducing another 2 6-woman groups, and again it's just one of those situations where WWE has now fallen into kind of a lazy pattern with the women's divisions, where we just put everybody in groups of 3 and then just keep kind of rattling it around. SmackDown is kind of, it's a little more directionless than what you're getting on Raw. I feel like on Raw there's a lot more urgency with a lot of the storylines. On SmackDown, it's a little bit of going through the motions, which is going to happen. I think they're kind of in a holding pattern until they get to the USA Network debut. And that's why we're getting what we're getting in the same way. We got Andrade versus Santos Escobar. Good match, strong match. Confused because I thought we were doing this Carmelo Hayes Andrade situation. We're not, but I guess eventually we're going to get to Santos Escobar and LA Knight for Bad Blood. Should be a good match. You can get to Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, I think, at some point in time in the future. More importantly, babyface Baron Corbin is a thing that is on people's televisions, whether they want it or not.
I want it. I like Baron Corbin. I want it, Robert. I love his end of days finisher, and I love that he protected it for so long. What did you think of the LA Knight promo? Anything? Did you take away? I thought in regards to the crowd reaction, it validated the move. And I think there is some potential for LA Knight to kind of keep elevating his star power if he kind of resets himself in certain ways, but also just continues the act and finds the balance of that all, I think, Robert. But this was kind of validating for him, I thought. Yeah.
I think he's perfect in the role that he's in. He can get the crowd as a response in an upper mid card kind of situation. You put him out there, you get an initial pop with the music, you get a little bit of the audience enjoying saying, yeah, you build up a mid card contender to go up against him. It's a fine match. It's a fine situation. It's not as captivating as Giovanni Vinci's new character, guy who likes to ski.
Well, this isn't a new character. This was him in NXT.
Yeah, but NXT, that's before NXT counted in continuity. It's a new character, Dom.
Okay.
We're gonna get excited for guy who likes to ski. Which,
fan.
By the way, for most of the wrestlers in the 80s, if the guy likes to ski, it meant something else.
I don't know what you're talking about. He had that
cocaine, Dom. I'm talking about cocaine.
Okay. Cocaine.
Yes.
Fast
Five feels like it was a month ago. It was so kind of uneventful for the most part. It really feels like it happened like 20 years ago in a vacuum somewhere. But I'm glad you're bringing us back and making us talk about it here today, as you're the one trying to preach positivity on a Monday.
Let's be positive. Were you positive about DIY staking their claim for the tag titles again, saying this is the new era of them and all that stuff? I thought it was very emphatic, very motivating, and I thought they were keeping positive too, Robert. What did you think of
that? I remember that this match happened.
Okay.
Gun to my head. Don't even remember the finish. I think Pretty Deadly are incredibly talented. I really enjoy them. They are kind of experiencing the WWE version of the AEW problem that I saw with the Acclaimed. I want to see Pretty Deadly more consistently featured on TV and not just the 10 seconds of them like, oh, we're making a musical. Like, give me something. Give me a segment with them. Give me 2 to 3 minutes of something really entertaining with those guys. I think they can carry it. The match was solid. I remember that much of it. And yeah, we're trying to be excited about who the number one contenders are going to be when it's either going to wind up being, Street Profits or DIY who are going to get sacrificed to the bloodline, assuming Jacob Fatu is back on TV and fully healthy.
Yeah, it doesn't. It just feels kind of like stopgapish with this tag division right now. I thought I made a early on prediction that I was very wrong, that maybe Motor City Machine Guns would have debuted on Friday. That did not happen.
You could save them. I don't. Again, it's this very strange situation where you're going through a breakup.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of the Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez situation, to tie this into what wrestling fans will care about. This idea of, we know that WWE is going to be leaving Fox. You don't want to give Fox anything that's amazing, blow away. My God, can you believe this? But at the same time, you do have to make it seem like you care, which is why we did get the main event segment of the return of OTC. But at the same time, you got to hold some things back. You got to make them earn it. And we are building to a B show. It is on a positive note. It's an international show. There's some momentum behind it. I think Raw tonight's going to be fantastic, which we will get to in just a few moments. But it's a little bit of paint by numbers, though. As a long-term WWE fan, we know how bad it can get. This is not bad. Like, this is still leaps and bounds better than what we could be getting otherwise from the WWE machine over the years. So it's tough to be genuinely critical of what we're seeing here because, we remember lackluster past performances. And guys, if you're concerned about your lackluster past performances, let's talk about our next sponsor, because our next sponsor needs no introduction. You've seen the ads. You've heard us talk about it a million times, and I bet there's a big part of you, pun intended, that wants to try it. What am I talking about? Blue Chew. That's right. This isn't your grandpa's blue pill. This is the one. The OG chewable tablet for better sex. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra. What do I care? They're not our sponsor. I can mispronounce their name, but at a fraction of the cost and in chewable form. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part, it's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. Blue Chew wants you to have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. The last thing you want is a limp, lazy 2-hour SmackDown. And guys, Blue Chew wants to make sure you are neither limp nor lazy. Blue Chew wants the entire country rock hard. They told me, Dom, they called me up and they told me it was a very awkward conversation, but this is their mission. They will not stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house, till every tent is pitched, till every rod is raised. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code RUMOR at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code RUMOR, to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this episode of Rumor and Innuendo. Pop one of these, Dom. You're going to be like J.D. Vance looking at a couch.
Oh, hey now. Hey
now. Thank
you.
Now. Hank Kingsley. Main event of SmackDown was another Bloodline promo.
Yes. We had one at the beginning. We had one at the end. This one had Roman Reigns get involved. Roman Reigns cleared some house when it came to the Guerrillas. Cleared some house. Knocked out, took out Tama Tonga, took out Tonga Loa. And Solo Sikoa went bailing. Since the crowd was really into it, like you mentioned, they're into your new favorite chant, OTC. Yeah, I was kind of surprised we didn't get to hear Roman talk. Were you okay with that? Did you like overall how this was executed?
Guys, Blue Chew might not be OTC, but Roman Reigns sure is.
Hey.
And they gave you a lot. The idea that Roman easily dispatched Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa and then got his hands on Solo again, I felt like they were giving you a little too much. Mm-hmm. The fact that we did get a back and forth, the idea that Roman got distracted by that necklace in the same way CM Punk gets distracted by a bracelet. It's like the show is being booked by Claire's. So it's a little much, but yeah, then the Bloodline got physicality on Roman again. Then he battled them back again. It was a little too much. Joseph Wade Walters here says Tulsa is such a marked town. Joseph was at that show live, so he could admit that is a town where you throw it right down the middle, they're going to cheer for it. Good guy beats up bad guy. Roman was presented as a good guy. We have not yet heard from Roman Reigns. We have not gotten the I did it for The Rock. So we're waiting on that component to it. It's clear we're setting up some sort of showdown, potentially. If William Regal is taken out of cryo chamber, maybe even a War Games for Survivor Series. Feels like that's where we're going with this. I would be terrified to let Tonga Loa in a War Games because this dude is he's like Chevy Chase playing Gerald Ford. It's pretty much what we're getting every time he's out there. The fact that he held up the tag title upside down, like, can we maybe take the eye patch off him? Let's not make it harder for this guy to see and move around.
How many people you think understood your Chevy Chase Gerald Ford reference, Robert?
How
many of our
knowing this audience, probably a lot.
You think so?
This feels like a weirdly insidery, SNL comedy group.
I sure hope so.
And if not, what, dude? This is our show. Let him go watch
Why don't you
your
Google
boy
it, guys?
Sean Ross. Let him go watch Sean Ross Sapp, who's going to make like Matt Rife references.
Who? I know.
Exactly.
Who?
Who I
Why
know
don't you
because
do crowd work, guys.
yeah, who I know mainly because of my working stiff co-hosts and them talking about all the young comedians these days. Give me a Bill Hicks. That's what I want. You know what I want to see? I want to see tonight's Monday Night Raw.
Oh, yeah, I want to see it too, Robert. What do we have on tap here? I have it written down. On tap for tonight's 3-hour WWE on USA Red Brand Primetime Monday Night program is an opening segment featuring Rhea Ripley, as well as an additional appearances by, Randy Orton, Odyssey Jones, who looks like Richie Havens, and others. Scheduled in-ring action for the show this evening includes Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Kerry Zayn and Io Sky will team up to take on Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler in a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship eliminator. Oh my God. I think they are following AEW. American Made versus Alpha Academy. And Damian Priest versus Carlito. Hey, he's going to work tonight, Robert. You are excited for this, aren't you?
I'm super excited. Here's what I love. You didn't have to tell me any of that, and I probably could have laid out everything that was going to happen on the 3 hours of Raw tonight because it was so well structured. There's so many great payoff moments that we're about to get. It feels like we're moving towards a Liv and Dom versus Rhea and Priest mixed tag match at this PLE at the Bash at Berlin as a way to avoid doing a straight up rematch with Liv and Rhea. It's a way for Rhea potentially to get a pin on Liv, but Liv still keeps her title, or Priest gets a pin on Dom, whatever that may be. Orton being there on Raw to reestablish himself as the number one contender. I like that there's a reasoning behind why he's the number one contender, that both him and Gunther want this to happen. So that makes it pretty compelling. The 2 out of 3 falls Intercontinental title match is where you're really seeing some of the smarts for Triple H. The fact that they are tied 1 apiece. The fact that we know we're not getting this match at the PLE. They're not giving you a third pay-per-view, whatever situation is with these guys facing each other. So a 2 out of 3 falls match allows Sammy to catch a pin to save face. Braun Breaker is obviously going to retain. It then becomes a matter of, does Braun win clean, or does Braun win with some unwanted assistance from the Judgment Day to pivot to JD and Finn versus Jey Uso and Sami Zayn?
That's intriguing.
A lot of fun moments there. Odyssey Jones, he captivated last week. Bronson Reed captivated last week. It's kind of fun to see what the follow-up for both of these big men are going to be. And what's crazy about that preview, no mention of Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, which is another massive story. It's why it shows this weird juxtaposition right now of what's going on Raw and what's going on SmackDown.
Yeah. Raw is much more buttoned up. And heck, that's a 3-hour program that we got to sit down and watch through. And I'm more engaged by that than I am on SmackDown. I love what's going on there. So,
well, because WWE is continuing their relationship with USA. You don't want to burn them.
Yep.
Also, tonight, you're no longer up against the Olympics.
It's true.
And they know on Monday night, the other big juggernaut is coming soon, which is Monday Night Football. So
I've never heard of that show before. Is that new?
I don't like you, Dom. You're a very challenging individual to co-host a show with. I kid. We love Dom. He's the best. But when Monday Night Football shows up, you're going to have your audience already invested in what's going on Raw. So full steam ahead, all these different storylines, all these irons in the fire makes a lot of sense for WWE. Once SmackDown moves to USA Network, I think you're going to see them put a lot more focus on that. Similarly to what we're seeing with the CW launch, that they're basically saying like, hey, you like CM Punk? He's going to be there. Hey, you kind of like Randy Orton? He's going to be there. Hey, you like LA Knight? LA Knight not going to be there, so you're fine.
Do you like Billy Corgan? He's on our channel too.
No, he's not. He's on their app.
Oh,
He's on the CW app, which is where you can get Billy in Corgan Land or whatever it was, Carney Land. Billy in Corgan Land, which I did watch the first episode of that show and talked about it on the Working Stiff Patreon, and we really hyped that for a long time.
What?
And then I saw it.
Possibly plug that, even like after a year removed from it. Just be like, hey guys, just so you know, Billy in Carney Land, enjoy it.
Enjoy it. No, go out of your way and watch The Wrestlers on Netflix, which was a better documentary. Actually, the Damian Priest documentary is out, which I have not had a chance to watch yet, but I have heard good things.
Did you hear good things?
Why would I just say? What are you echoing? You don't. Is this like a depot? You don't believe me? You want me to?
More opportunity to speak on it if you'd like. That's all.
I haven't. I just said I haven't watched it yet. So thank you for paying attention. This is a tight show this week. Today. What a Monday. You start off with the negativity on the positivity. We go through SmackDown. We go through Raw. There's a ton of other news that we're gonna get to that we don't have the time to really talk about. AEW, Tony Khan saying that there's going to be a major announcement this week. That's forthcoming. Tony Khan rumor to be hosting a stadium show in Texas. We'll be talking about that. MJF responding to the Britt Baker accusations. All these things will be on tomorrow's rundown, as well as us having a chance to recap all the lunacy that happened tonight on Monday Night Raw. So if you want to know how many times there was a Sonic commercial, oh man, is tomorrow going to be... There's nothing my wife hates more than when she walks in when Raw is on. The commercials, like the Cricket Wireless commercial with the screaming, drives her absolutely insane. Hates it. Or the Twisted Iced Tea ad that they air ad nauseum.
It's the Pizza Hut ones. Pizza Hut ones were driving me nuts for a while. I do like Pizza Hut though.
You would. That's probably the best pizza in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you might be right.
You really had to think about that for a moment. And you're like, no, it's fair.
Mercurio's in Shady Side.
No, they're not promoting. What do you get out of here? You're not. This isn't Barstool. You're not getting paid to go pizzeria to pizzeria. He came to one by me, like a block away, and I was like, it's a terrible pizza place that he picked. And he's like, this is really good pizza. And I was like, okay, you're an idiot.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Thanks, Portnoy. It's Portnoy's complaint. But you can look that up, kids. But what you can also look up while doing that are all the different shows that Dominic D'Angelo produces, like the best producer in all of wrestling podcast. Why are you pointing aggressively at me? For those of you listening to this on audio, on Spotify, iTunes, and like, assuming Dom remembers to post it.
I'll post it. Don't worry.
He remembers to post it. Dom is just like pointing, menacing at me.
I am. Hey, Robert, you. Yeah, you can see me on rvdtv.com 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. It'll drop. Rob and I talk about what's more important or what's more valuable to him, being in a video game or having an action figure yourself. We give different perspectives on that. Rob talks about why he considers the John Cena match, One Night Stand, the greatest match he's ever had, if you're putting it in certain context. And we also talk about him versus Sabu and TNA as well. So lots of fun stuff covered in that one. Check it out, 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. You can also check out Straight Talk with Boss Magnum TA Greg Gagne. We covered some good ground. I answered some good fan questions last week. So that's already up there on fourhorsemannetwork.com. You can check out. We go live every Thursday night. So be on the lookout for that. I'm part of plenty of other stuff too. SD Scoops props out. Shout out to them as well. Robert, Working Stiff. Fun episode. You got more to come this week.
We do have more to come. Definitely go check out Working Stiff. Again, wherever you get your podcast. And be sure to check out Rumor and Innuendo every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern on the aforementioned SE Scoops X account, the WWE Creative _ish X account, and on YouTube on Working Stiff, Rumor and Innuendo. And despite it being a Monday, ad-free show. So thank you, Brian Danielson, for taking care of that damn Jeff Jarrett. So on behalf of Pittsburgh's favorite son, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpolis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Let's go, Pittsburgh. Let's go, Bucks. Let's go, Bucks.